What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Prod.cast. I'm Andric.
I'm Basil.
And MSK.
And today, we are going to do the final episode of Prod.cast podcast for the year 2021. And this is just like the final one before we wrap up the year. So actually, we have a lot of releases in December. We have actually 5 episodes in December. Do you know that?
Yeah, but how many do we have for the year in total?
17, 18 if I'm not wrong.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I really can't remember offhand now. I probably know when I'm
We've got like
this.
1.5 releases a month, that sort of thing.
That's quite
If my math is correct.
Then so since you're talking about math, right, there are some numbers that I can pull out right now. So a couple of days ago when I was checking out our stats on our podcast, do you know out of all the current episodes that are online right now, we still have at least 3 that are not online, right?
Yeah.
3? Yeah, I think about 3. Do you know collectively how many views we have in total? Almost 2,000.
Ooh.
Just on Spotify.
Nice.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really nice.
And it's a good, if I'm not wrong, 17 to 23%, if I'm not wrong, from the US. So,
Oh, that's
our US friends, how
interesting.
come? Like,
That's
how
awesome.
Come? Nah,
Yeah,
hi.
that's very
What the fuck am I
awesome.
saying?
No idea.
Thank you very much for
Sorry, let me
watching.
say it again. To our US fans out there, hi.
Thank you very much
That's
for
really
listening,
awesome.
man.
Yeah. Which is really surprising because, I mean, I just posted, it's not like I said that
And this is Spotify, right?
Spotify.
So that means they are not people who come and listen to they might have come from our YouTube page, but they're not people who come and listen to us just because of our trigger or our That's cool, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So that's one of the numbers that I remember. So I'm
That's
just
awesome.
kind of happy that something that we started just from nothing and the whole point of it is for fun.
Yeah.
Has that kind of following. I mean, it's not a lot. I mean, 1,005 is honestly comparing to other people is not a lot, but the fact that we did like almost zero marketing, it's and with zero expectations, which I think is the most important thing. That number, whatever it is, like even if it was 150, I think I'm happy too.
I mean, it's cool. It's nice to know that people listen.
But I think at the end of the day, even if no one listens, I don't think at this moment any of the 3 of us would stop doing what we are doing with Prod.cast, because we've established, even privately, that in doing Prod.cast once in a while actually helps us escape from the negative stuff in our lives and in the world right now, actually.
Correct.
Lots of things, man. Lots of things.
Yeah, so this episode today that we're doing is just going to wrap up our year. So I think just very quickly, guys, how was the year for you?
Go ahead first.
Well, I mean, it was better than 2020 for sure. I think 2020 was probably apart from the pandemic, it was a year of self-discovery, and I think 2021 just kind of built on that. And I would say that despite all the setbacks that I faced this year, I think I've definitely grown a lot more as a person as compared to last year. Even though I think I grew a lot last year. Yeah, so I mean, most people who are listening to this by now would know that something didn't go right with one of the pitches that we had. And I think my own personal take on that is that I really I didn't feel as bad as I thought I would. Like, I don't know if I mentioned before on this podcast that I'm not a very good loser. Like, but that's not to say that I turn like hateful or what. I just don't lose. I just don't handle losing very well because I tend to set very high expectations for myself and the things I do. And this time, it's not to say that I didn't hate the outcome or I didn't like the outcome. But it's not to say that I didn't hate losing this time. I just felt that it wasn't as bad as it wasn't as bad an outcome as we thought it would be. I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And I felt that actually knowing that helped me to it was at least some form of closure. Like, I know that's probably a closed door for now, but I have these other options that I'm going to try. So it wasn't something that was, finish already, and that's it, close shop. Yeah, it's just a setback. So I felt that I think maybe if this were to happen maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I would have like serious case of self-doubt. But right now I actually feel like I've grown enough to accept the outcome as it is. I know what the other party thinks, and I know maybe what where we need to, or where I need to sell better. Yeah. Yeah, so I think 2022 is looking pretty exciting for me. A lot of things I want to achieve next year, and I would say that I'm ending 2021 on a pretty good note. Yeah. Yeah.
Not to mention that we watched Spider-Man today.
Yeah, we just watched Spider-Man today. So
So it's a pretty good day to be doing our wrap-up episode.
I will probably be watching it one more time before the year ends, and maybe another
really?
time. Yeah.
Nice.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I mean, we have 16 days left in the year. I'm sure I can spare 2 hours to watch Spider-Man.
Yeah.
2.5?
Likely.
Well, yeah, it was 2 hours actually. 2 hours 1 minute. I checked.
Oh, really? Oh,
But you add advertisements and everything, yeah, more or less there.
I see. So, is there anything else you want to share?
No, that's all from me for now. Let's move on to somebody else. SK.
Yeah. Okay, I started off this year with a legit change with I would say my status. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so in a way it sort of started a very good beginning for me this year, and not to mention this is the first time I legitimately try something different like podcast, and really enjoyed it. Yeah. So tried something different. At the same time, I sort of started to realize more of what I really lack of. So just like best, I did have a lot of self-discovery about what I need to do, and most importantly, I think one of the biggest turning point was really because I got my latest MacBook Pro, and I realized that I need to fully utilize it. It's not to show off, but
Show off. I also going to have soon.
Yeah.
I mean, thinking about it, but yeah.
So
I'm probably the last lah, if I even get it.
Well, yeah, mine's the oldest, so
no, mine technically is
Even
the
given,
oldest.
yeah.
But I really feel that one of the things that I had is last year I discovered a lot of things, and this year was really honing whatever that I got and building on whatever skills I have, and most importantly is to look ahead and try to look for better improvement in terms of my goals. And I think that it's really a very good opportunity, and I realized that the moment I got what I needed, and I realized that okay, now this is it. I think I need to start to step on the pedal and start to move forward a little bit faster as compared to this year. This year is really just stabilize, get things to look like okay, it's fine, because initially there were some setbacks also, partially also because the moment when I want to step on the acceleration, the first thing that happened was we need to do I don't want to use the word circuit breaker part 2. Yeah, so it was sort of held back for almost half a year.
I don't even remember what the phase was.
It's called phase 2 heightened alerts.
Yeah,
That was one of the episodes.
Yeah. Heightened alert. Okay, yeah.
So I realized that it set me back a little bit, but now that things are getting better, I really want to pick up my speed back, and I sort of had that in a more in that grand scheme of things already. So let's hope that it really start to pick up within 2022. And of course, the most important thing is also I fulfill my final checklist for the year, which is to watch Spider-Man. I'm really you can see how
All right.
good.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. Basil, before I carry on the mic, can you help me check if your camera filming you is actually recording? I forgot if I pressed recording.
It's recording.
All right.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Taking photo.
All right. So I think the update for me is echoing the two of you. I think this year is also for me about self-discovery, but in a different way, I'd say. Coming off of 2020, obviously the world got hit right in the face with the pandemic, with COVID-19.
Yeah.
And in Singapore especially, we went through a two-month circuit breaker where we're basically every single Singaporean, or at least most of us, excluding the frontliners, were on restricted movement.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So obviously work was affected, especially for freelancers like us, or people who earn our wage by going out to do work. Like we don't really have the work from home option.
Yeah.
Right, because our work is very hands-on.
Yep.
And that goes the same for a lot of my clients as well. So the moment circuit breaker ended, business boomed. Not saying that it was a bad thing. It was good, but it also has its disadvantages. But because I would say the economy is trying its best to recover, or at least most people are trying their best to recover from their own wallets from the 2-month break.
Yeah.
Things were hectic. Things were crazy in lieu of June last year. But now that we have been living with it for a while, it's officially calling it as an endemic, and we've reached the year 2021. I think what's mainly different is while we are still recovering as a whole, I think we have also more or less settled down into the new normal.
Yeah.
And my self-discovery journey is learning to say no.
Right.
Right, because you see, the whole reason I set up this whole story is having a 2-month break of having almost no income, and the moment it opens up, you take whatever job you get.
Yeah.
Whether it's low
correct,
paying,
correct.
whether it's something you want to do or not, because you need to secure your rice bowl for a while first.
Yep.
But at the same time, looking back at circuit breaker, it made me notice how important rest was.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and circuit breaker, if you look at it in a positive spin, it was a government enforced rest.
Yeah, especially for
correct,
people like us.
Yeah.
For almost everyone.
Especially for people like us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot speak for people who work in an office, who do admin jobs, because I'm pretty sure that they found a way to set up their workstations at home. So even though they are at home, they're still working. If anything, they're working longer hours. So I cannot speak for them. But for us, we literally cannot go out and shoot. So we have no editing work to do.
Yeah.
So I think the biggest thing for me is to accept that, one, I'm getting older. I don't have the dexterity and physicality that my body used to have. Two, even if I do, I think saying no to some shoots, it's important for my own mental health.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's my part of the self-discovery. And of course, another highlight for me is I spent another year with my girlfriend, and I'm looking forward to spend a lot more years with her. I think she's the one for me. I'm not the best boyfriend, obviously. I'm not the best person. I'm not a perfect person. I make a lot of mistakes. I still make a lot of mistakes till this day. But she is the one that has been next to me and not giving up on me no matter what I do. And I hope that she can keep doing that no matter what mistakes I make. And it's also the year that I introduced her to you guys. And,
That's right.
I actually chat with Basil, I think one of the days last time, on how he felt about my girlfriend, and he has nothing but good things to say. And I think your exact words were, we are suited for each other.
I also said that I think that who you are today, a huge part of it is because of her.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
I said those exact words.
No doubt. Yeah. So I'm also very thankful that my friends and buddies approve of her. I mean, not that she requires your approval, but I'm glad you do.
Yeah.
So I think there's really not much in my personal life. I'm actually a pretty simple guy. I don't really need a lot of things. I mean, I do need a lot of physical things like toys and shit. But
I was just about to say.
I knew. I'm gonna get ahead of the curve before you do. But in the grand scheme of things, I think that is my biggest growth so far. Knowing when to slow down, and not just that. The fact that we were doing this podcast, I've also learned that certain personal boundaries that I used to cross last time should be reassessed, rethought, and not crossed if it doesn't fit the bill. Things like a lot of the podcast episodes that we've done throughout the year are actually very close to my heart and genuinely what I believe in, and I still believe in them now, even some we have already done for like months ago. So my views and stance on them have not changed, albeit a lot less aggressive lah. Because back then when I first brought it out, like maybe the do not call episode,
Right.
At that point of time during recording, I was very passionate about it because it just happened to me, and I was feeling the spikes of the emotional turmoil. But right now that I've more or less settled down, it's not as bad as I thought it was, but I still stand by it. Yeah. So yeah, I think doing Prod.cast has actually made me a more patient person. It's made me appreciate production work a lot more. It's made me appreciate the two of you a lot more. And it's made me think of it. I feel that it's made me it has made me have a slightly larger worldview.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I got to not only think about larger things outside of myself, but I get to hear opinions from my two friends.
Yeah.
And usually it's at least one of us will have a different view. But the great thing about us is, even if the other person has a different view, we don't argue. We sit down and we listen and we accept, because that is that person's view, doesn't mean it's wrong or right.
Correct. I think one thing great about doing a podcast is you kind of force yourself to sit down and listen.
Yeah,
that's true.
Listen and then you think.
Yeah.
And then you reply.
Yeah. I mean, not just us, but how many of us, like even you, how many of you right now watching this actually listen to conversations that you have from on a day-to-day basis? Like, let's say you talk to your client, or even something as simple as you meet a friend that you haven't solved in a long time, or even if you meet someone that you meet often, and you ask, hey, how are you? How often do you actually mean that? Or is it just a formality thing that you grew up with, so you feel obligated to ask, how are you? Right? And you don't actually care what the answers are. I mean, these are things that I now think about, and I feel that there is a chance we'll cover in the podcast in a future episode.
I think one of the things that, to me, to add on for your case, is that I feel that over this 1 year, I think for me is I've been looking most of the time with work, then maybe social media, and probably you guys, and probably my girlfriend, and that is it. And I realized that there is a limitations in terms of point of view, especially when the more I'm exposed to social media over these 2 years, the toxicity of it. So the opportunity to sit down with this particular podcast really changed a little bit, because at least I'm listening to something in the more of a middle ground, and we are really.
Yeah, that's quite.
What was that?
I have no idea.
Wow, 2 episodes. We cannot interrupt us.
Do you hear that? That was quite.
That was.
I don't even know what's that. That's like Godzilla.
I thought it was an earthquake.
Yes,
I felt it on the floor.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
All right, anyway,
It could be the parking thing.
Oh.
Well, I guess it's ended now, so it should be fine.
It could be it was on a few moments ago before the bigger one. It could be the parking thing.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
So I like, at least there's different point of views, and most importantly, a more neutral ground kind of a point of view, rather than the extreme end of either you're right or wrong, that kind of thing. And I kind of feel that it's refreshing.
Well, yeah. I mean, social media is kind of like you're either with me or against me kind of place, and then after that, there's of course the echo chambers.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I think it's good to be away from that.
Yeah,
but not entirely. Sometimes you need to. For me personally, I like to go on to Reddit and go on to Twitter and even Facebook, right? Just to have a sense of what people are thinking and what people are saying. Of course, I filter all the stupid comments lah.
Because for me, it's like it's a bit toxic at times, and
of course.
It does affect moods a little bit, which it does over the last probably during the higher alert period. Yeah.
I learned more about things talking to you guys than reading anything on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, it's also really made me properly sit down and ask someone face to face, how are you doing? What do you think about this? Things like that. Like I'll go for shoots. And sometimes after the shoot, the client is nice enough to offer to drive me somewhere. Like maybe he or she is also going somewhere. And during the car ride, we don't just make pointless small talk. I'll actually ask them deep questions out of nowhere that, hey, I've been going through this recently. What do you think about this? And then he or she will just be very happy to share. And then I can even tell from their response that they are somewhat happy and also surprised to get such a question that they don't get every day. Even something as simple as hey, I recently hired someone and I find that he reacts to certain things this way. So if it was you, what would your advice be? And then they feel like, hey, I actually have something of value to share.
No, and not just that. When you ask someone a question like that sometimes might be a little personal. It makes them feel like
Closer to you.
Sorry?
It makes them
no,
feel
it makes
closer to
them feel like you value their opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
correct.
that means they.
Of course.
Yeah. So they feel in a way that you trust them, and it tends to build better bonds. Yeah.
Yeah. So that has been good lah.
I would want to ask this question, like,
Right.
of all the broadcasts so far, or episodes so far, right? Rather than saying that which one you like the most, which one leaves the most biggest impact to you? Like, leaves the biggest impact for you?
Wow. That's a tough question.
So maybe I'll start first. Surprisingly, it's not the education ones that the education episode which I started, which I initiated. It was actually the one that talks about the price for working with ourselves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It really makes me change a little bit about the opinions I have, especially towards people who are in the same line as I do. Like, I do know that most of them are suffering, but during the whole conversation, I realized that my mindset has always been, okay, I'm the lucky one, but that's it. Like, for the first time, I sat down and go, yeah, there are people who are really having that didn't have the opportunity to, they probably, because of family and whatsoever, they have to sideline themselves and then they cannot come back again. And I sort of realized that this portion here was something that when we discussed, I realized that, oh yeah, there's this group of people. So in a way, the way that I talk to some of these people, some of the people who have gone through it, especially when I tend to sit in Grab or Gojek, I went from a little bit sometimes going in the direction of, okay, why you don't go back and why don't you choose to go back to this, because this is way better than driving Grab to. I can understand where you're coming from and your difficulty, and I know how hard it is. So maybe during the conversation, I'll be more respectful towards them in terms of whenever they share about their opinions about certain things. So it helps in terms of that perspective. And most importantly, it's also one of those that, to me, when I shared with, I think you all know that it was shared in one of the Facebook page. It was shared on one of the Facebook page.
Yeah.
And
I can't remember what's the page,
remember that.
but I mean, we are all very thankful that the page was willing to feature.
Yeah. So
that was the most
Yeah,
exciting
yeah,
I've had
yeah.
for the night.
yeah. So to me, that left a big impact. Like, finally, two things. One is I have a different perspective, and secondly, our opinions were valued, and most importantly, we were heard in a way. So that left a big impact for me.
I see. Interesting. I would have not guessed that. Yeah. All right. I mean, if we're going on this road, then I think off the top of my head, because I trust my instincts and I trust the first answer that pops into my head usually. Right now, what pops into my head is the episode that is currently not out yet at the time of recording, which is the time where we played the card game.
Right, okay, the card game, yeah.
Yeah.
That was quite fun.
Yeah, that was fun and deep at the same time. That's what she said.
Yeah.
But yes, I think out of all the episodes, that was my favorite because I've always been a more interpersonal guy. I think that was the one episode that we not only put out very light-hearted content, but it made our bond a little bit stronger. I dare say.
Quite possibly true.
Yeah. Quite possibly true.
So that was mine for me.
Yeah.
I think I don't have to elaborate on that because by the time you are hearing this now, it's probably on the 31st of December. You would have probably already seen or heard that episode. So you would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you ask me, the one that came to mind first was the education one because I just shared it to my ex-NS commander recently.
Oh.
Yeah, and then so I think that was nice because, recently top of mind there's been a bit of discussion about our education system, right?
Yeah.
And I think we are people who did not get much opportunities through our own education system,
Yes.
and we actually learned a lot of who we are today is built up from alternative education route,
Yes.
or even going to work and everything.
Yes.
So in a way, our education system kind of failed us, and so I feel like a lot of the things that I recall we saying, and especially we had China on board with us, right? A lot of the things that we spoke about still quite relevant, even more relevant now, especially when we are talking about changing the education system from one that's not results focused to one that's more focused on what's the thing called? I cannot remember. A few days ago, they had this article.
I saw that. I also went past my head.
Yeah, the thing is for me is like we can always say that this did not happen, that did not happen, or the education system is not perfect, etc., right? But are we willing to wait for the change to happen? Like implement the changes and then wait for the outcome? Because these outcomes don't happen in 5 years. They don't happen in 10 years. You need at least 15 to 20 years for it to take effect.
Yes.
Possibly a whole generation.
Yes,
which
correct.
15 to 20 years is a whole generation.
Correct.
Yeah. So by the time that happens, right, we are going to be very old already.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. But can Singapore be patient enough for that to happen? That's my question. And I guess that's why I feel strongly about it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thankful that the topic that I initiated actually left a mark.
It did. And I would encourage you to give us more topics like that for next year. All right. I mean, do you have anything to add on? Because I actually intend to keep this a very short episode.
No, we're at 27 now.
Yeah, like the first one is short, the last one I'll keep it short too.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, we're at 27 now.
Yeah.
So if nothing on, then I just do announcement and I close really.
Sure,
Yeah,
no problem.
Thank you guys for sharing. I think this is a very good short close and wrap up of the year. We do have a couple of announcements for you listeners out there and viewers. First of all, we are very, very thankful that you have been with us from the start. If you have, even if not, it's fine. Welcome. Welcome to our channel. And we hope you like our stuff. If you don't, it's okay also.
Yep.
If you had taken the time to check out everything that we have done in the past till now, if there has been anything that we said that doesn't sit quite right with you, or you don't agree on, feel free to reach out to us. And now you can, because we are going to be finally creating...
Wait. Announcement?
Yeah, he's getting into that.
Wow.
Okay,
so that's going to be in the audio, right?
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, but it's going to be a different track, so you can...
Yeah, but our reaction is not.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'll leave it in there.
Yeah, just keep it natural.
So anyway, now if you do want to reach out to us, you can, because we are going to have a much simpler way other than just leaving comments on YouTube. Those who have left comments, we are very thankful. Please keep doing so. But yes, we have finally reached the place that we thought that, hey, maybe we can start an Instagram page. It's going to be managed by the three of us, not by anybody else. So whatever you leave, as in whatever comments you leave there, will be seen by the three of us. So please don't leave anything offensive or don't leave anything negative. I mean, you can share a different opinion to us. You don't have to agree with us, but that's the beauty of talking.
Well, don't be mean.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
But don't be mean.
I'll be watching.
If you are mean, we will not hesitate to block you.
I'll be watching.
It's just as simple as that. Yeah.
I'm a troll.
We will
by the
watch
way.
you.
Yeah, so that's one of the first announcement. The second announcement, which is I'll be a smaller one, we are changing the album art, and we don't know what it is going to be yet, but we probably are changing it. We might try to experiment with a few to see what works for us. But yeah, so this will be the last episode of season 1 of Prod.cast.
We have a
Coming
sound
next
effect.
year, we will be doing season 2. So I think that's the format, right? We are just gonna
Every year is a season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every year is a
Okay.
season.
And as per usual, there's still no fixed scheduling. There's no fixed number of episodes that we do in a year. There could be months that we drop 5, like this month, or
We're
and
unusually productive this month.
yeah, and months that we drop nothing. So it really depends on how busy the three of us are. Because for us, we have this agreement: as long as it's Prod.cast related, if one of us isn't here, we won't do it at all.
Yep.
Or if one of us says no to a topic, we won't do it at all.
Yep.
Yeah, so it must have the three of us, and all three of us must green light it.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's about it. We are very happy that you're here with us. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts once again. And for the very last time in 2021, this is Prod.cast signing out. Bye.
See ya.
Bye bye.